Okay, what we're going to take a look at now is resolving this particular issue where we've already got the data for our members, but each time we click on a different link, we're making an API request. And it's pretty obvious now that we introduce loading indicators that that is what's going on. When we're just serving our app locally, it's too fast to notice this. So it's a good idea to add a delay into your application, as we've done here, so you can get an experience of what it's like as an end user who might be quite far from your server that's hosting this particular application. So what we'll do is we'll head back to VS Code and let's just clean things up at the top. And what we want to take a look at is our member service. Now remember, services are singletons. They're instantiated when a component needs the service, and that it operates as a singleton and it stays alive until the application is closed. So services make a good candidate for storing our application state. Now there are other state management solutions. There's such things as Redux you could add to your application here. You could add MobX. All of them are way too much for what we're doing in this application. We don't need them because Angular has this concept of services, and Redux or MobX would be overkill for what we're doing here. If Angular didn't have this facility, then sure, we could go ahead and add a state management service, but we don't need to. So what we're going to do is use our service to store our data. So what we're going to do inside the members service, we're going to add a members property that's going to be a member array, and we're going to initialize it to an empty array. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make adjustments to our methods inside here, and if we can get the information from our members, then that's what we're going to return. So in our get members, what we're going to do is we're going to add a check, and we're going to say if this.members.length is greater than 0, then we're going to return the members. But don't forget, we need to return this as an observable, because our client, our component, is going to be observing this data. So what we can use is we can use the of operator from RxJS. So we'll bring this in, and if we look at the description of this, it doesn't actually tell us anything, but of means that we're going to return something of an observable. So what we'll do is we'll use this and we'll pass in this.members. So if we have the members, then we're going to return the members from the service as an observable. And then what we need to do is set the members once we've gone and made the effort to get them from the API. So what we'll do is we'll use the pipe operator, and we'll open this, and what we want to do is map. So we'll bring the map operator in from RxJS. And then what we can do is say that we want to map over our members. And what we're going to do is set this.members equal to members, and we're going to return the members from this as well. And remember, the map operator returns the values as an observable. So when we return from the map, we're returning these as an observable. So we're doing the same in both methods. We're returning an observable of the members from here and the same from here as well. What we'll also do is we'll make an adjustment to our getMember method. And what we'll do is we'll attempt to get the member from the members we have inside our service. We still need to accommodate the fact that the user might refresh their page and we don't have anything inside our service at all. So what we'll do is we'll say const member equals list.members.find, and what we want to find is the member with the same username that we're passing in as a parameter. So we'll say x.username is equal to, and we use 3 equals for equality in JavaScript or TypeScript, and equal to username. And what we'll do is we'll say if the member is not equal, and we need to go and take a look at what the find method returns if it does not find what we're looking for. So let's take a look at the description of the find method here. And find calls a predicate once for each element of the array in ascending order until it finds one where the predicate returns true. If such an element is found, it immediately returns the element value. Otherwise, find returns undefined. So that's what we're looking for, a comparison here. We're not looking to compare against null. we want to look for undefined. So we're going to say if member is undefined, or not equal to undefined, I should say, then we're going to return of, and we're going to say member. And obviously, if we don't have the member, then we're going to go and make our API call. And then what we'll do is we'll also update our update member. Because if we're getting our members now from our service, then if we update a member and we don't do anything with that, then when they go back, they're going to go and see the old data that's stored inside here. So we also need to update this when we update our member as well. So what we'll do for this is we'll once again use the pipe because we're going to do something with this data. And inside here, we'll use the map function once again. And we don't have anything coming back from our HTTP put method. Our server doesn't give us a response. So what we need to do is we need to get the member from the service. So we're going to say const index to find out the index of this.members, and we're going to say index of, and then we're going to find the member that matches that member in our index. And then we're going to say this.members, and then we're going to specify the index, and we're going to set this equal to the member. And let's go across to our member list component now. And inside here, what we're going to do is we'll take a different approach. And what we'll do is we'll say that our members is going to be an observable. And we're going to pass in the member type here and say this is a observable of a member array. And then what we're going to do is say in our ng on init, we're going to say this.members is equal to this.memberService, and we're going to say get members. And we won't use our load members anymore. And what we'll use inside our member list component is we'll take advantage of the async pipe. And we'll head over to the member list component, templates, and what we'll do is say let member of members, and what we should do conventionally is specify $, in front of the members to specify that this is now an observable rather than just a normal JavaScript object. And inside our member list, what we'll do is say members $, and we'll just use the async pipe so that we can subscribe to this observable. Now let's see how we stand in our application at the moment. So let's just refresh the page first of all, make sure we still get our list of members. If we click on a member, we should be taken instantly to that member's profile, and if we go back to our matches, we shouldn't see any loading. And this should apply for all of our different members. Okay, so far so good. And if we click on another profile, what about the photos? Do we see them? Yes, we do. Can we refresh our page? And does it still work? And do we still see the images? Yes, we do. So that's okay. And what about if we edit our profile? So I'm inside Lisa's profile. I'll take out the numbers here, or swap the numbers, and save changes. And we get our profile updated successfully. If I then click on matches and click on Lisa, then we see the updated info without needing to go to the API again to go and get it. Admittedly, this is going to be hidden from the actual user in future because they won't be able to see their own profile to click on. The only option they'll have is to edit their profile. But just so that we can see that things are working as they're supposed to, there's no harm in looking at this right now. So everything looks good, and if we refresh pages, we can go into people's profiles, we can see the photos. What we should do is take a look at the console and make sure we haven't introduced any errors, and make sure that when we're doing any of this, the console is actually clean. And check the photos, check the matches, check the edit profile, make an update, save the changes, go back to the matches, click on a profile, everything's good. So we're happy. And when we're happy and we've reached the end of a section, what we do is we go and save our changes. What we've got inside here, we've got a bunch of changes that they look okay to me. So what I'm going to do is say end of section 10, and we'll stage these changes, and then we'll commit them, and then we'll push the changes up to GitHub. And we'll wrap this up with a summary.